Hey everyone, welcome to Second Sight Tarot. I am here to do part of a series that I'm doing for the chakras or the 7 chakras. So I already did a collective, which I will try to put in the description box down below. I'll link it there for the overall, like all 7 chakras. I did a kind of a collective that way. But now I'm going to be breaking down each chakra. Each one that I do. So we're starting with the very first one, which is the root chakra. And I've already laid out the cards. I've meditated. Please remember that this is a general reading. This is just almost like an advice kind of reading of things that we can look at within the root chakra and how we bring things into our lives through that chakra. So it just shows you a bigger picture of things that we can look at to readjust these kind of things. So just a little bit about the root chakra. It's what grounds us to the earth. It's at the base of the spine, near the coccyx. It also represents our feelings, feeling safety, having security, and feeling stability. So, and there's a lot of other things that are connected with that as well. But those are the main ones. The color is red. And I feel like this has a lot to do with any kind of pain in the pelvic cavity or in the hips that could be connected to the root chakra as well. Not all the time, but a lot of times if we do have like these unexplained pain or discomfort or tightness in the hips, that could be related to the root chakra. So let's get into the reading a little bit. And kind of see how it unravels. And then if we have questions or whatever, you can always leave them in the comment box below. We can answer anything that comes up. I'm curious to see if this resonates. It's just something fun and new that I'm trying, so we'll see. Okay, so the overall essence of the reading, and I pull out some chakra oracles as well, but not the first one, but one of them is relationships. I am attracted to those people who serve my highest good. So it's a very simple one, but this is all about relationships. And how we feel safe in those relationships, how we have security within those relationships, how we feel stable within those relationships with ourselves, but with other people too. Who is our tribe, and do we feel safe in that? So this is asking you to really look at your relationships to see if they're serving you at your higher good, at your higher vibration. And if they're not, is there a way that you can make that shift somehow? Or maybe some of those people that are in your tribe are kind of an expired energy. And I don't like saying that, but sometimes, some people, we either outgrow them or energetically, or they outgrow us. Relationships are not all meant to happen and to last forever. They're there to serve a purpose when we kind of mold or resonate with that energy. And sometimes it doesn't. So this is asking you to kind of analyze, do you feel safe, secure, stable in that relationship? Does it give you what you need? Are your needs being met? Are their needs being met? So it's just something to analyze there. As well as we have a new life. This is all about growth, a new path, having a new opportunity in life. Is something happening here that is allowing you to kind of step out of your comfort zone, or of something unraveling of putting aside the masks that we used to wear for who we were at the time. And this is also dealing with all the chakras, not just the root chakra. But how are you feeling right now with these new opportunities coming in? Or is there something coming in for you that is allowing you to really expand, and grow out of this shell? She's breaking out of an eggshell. So she's being reborn, or it's a female energy, but it could be gender neutral. It's like this person is, coming out of this egg. They're being reborn, or having a new opportunity coming up. And this sense of like wanting to really expand the energy and grow. You've outgrown some of these relationships or some of these concepts in your life that no longer serve you anymore. Maybe you're not feeling safe anymore, or maybe you're feeling stagnant within that energy. You're too stable, too grounded in this energy, and it's not allowing you to really kind of push your limits a little bit and see what you're capable of doing energetically, spiritually, as a human, as a soul, what your purpose is in life. Maybe things are just too comfortable. So this is asking you to look at, new opportunities or new ways of seeing things, and also taking a look at your growth pattern and seeing if you've really kind of allowed yourself to open up at your highest potential. We also have the Oracle's Gift. I love this card, which is also a 10. Those are a 9 and a 3. I don't really read those all the time. I mean, I guess you could start from 0 again, but which would be what, a 12, which would be a 3. So it's like finding creative ways to really look at your life. We can go down that rabbit hole. I'm learning numerology, so not perfect, but I've gotten like 1 through 10 a little bit understood for the most part. But I love this card. You know, and 10s are all about an end of a cycle or this a sense of renewal here, you know. And I do see that in the new life, you know, card as well. There's a sense of renewal. There's something that has been rebirthed, or you're outgrowing something that just doesn't serve you anymore. There's also a sense of completion here, but this card in particular deals with your gifts, like second sight, like second sight tarot, like, you know, psychic abilities, and really seeing the signs around you, really being clairvoyant, really tapping into your senses other than the 5 senses that we as humans know, like looking at the other senses. Do you see things around you clearly? Are you using your gut? Are you using your intuition? So this is just saying that, like, this way of expanding and coming out of this egg and outgrowing where you are is really allowing this type of energy to come in if you let it. If you give enough space for this kind of energy to come, then it will expand you in your relationships to things, places, people. You know, this is not only just friends and relationships, but this is your relationship to stuff, to your life, to your habits, to your job, to you know, to everything that you have a relationship with, to your body especially, you know, to your sense of security, of your well-being, you know, of your feelings. So there's a way to look at this that really expands your capabilities here if you allow it to really open you up and take you to a different place or to a higher realm. So I really love this because it's exactly what the root is all about. It's about feeling safety and security and comfort, and you know, learning those things that have been installed since birth and kind of reconstructing them as you move along, because you're growing and you're expanding. Things don't always stay the same. You don't always stay in the same egg. You know, sometimes we are rebirthed, we outgrow it, and then we go into another cocoon, and then we rebirth that. And there's like these beautiful cycles of life that really brings us higher if we actively participate into that. So depending on where you are, at least bringing acknowledgement to those things. So the overall energy of the actual spread, I'm going to go through them, and then I'm going to kind of bring in these oracles into every card if I have to, but I'm going to explain what they are first. So gratitude and thanks, which I love this. It's so beautiful. Just being grateful for everything that you have around you and for all of the work and energy you've put in, and just being grateful for like wind and flowers and just everything, you know, everything around you. What are you appreciating these days? Planting seeds and transformation and change, which is all about everything we're talking about right now. So I think these are appropriate, and I will kind of bring these into all of the cards that I'm talking about. All right, let's dig deep, literally down to the first chakra. So, okay. So the first things first is I am following a new spread, so bear with me here. For the first one is the number 1, and number 1 is all about our energy in our root right now. What is our root energy right now as a collective? And I love this. This is the full energy. It's appropriate for the root. Wow, so many. This is taking a leap of faith, you know, really going with the flow of this new energy. And this is coming back to this right here for me, you know, really cracking open and outgrowing old things. And now you're seeing things anew, and now you want to go in this innocence on this new journey and kind of going in it blindly and seeing where it goes, because you don't know. It's like coming out of this egg and you're just freeing yourself and you have no idea what's to come. So you're new. There's an innocence here. You're newly born again. So that's kind of self-explanatory, of taking a leap of faith, going with the flow, taking this new journey without like fear and kind of blindly. And sometimes it could be foolish too, you know, because you're not you're not seeing things. So it's also asking you to be grounded and using your senses, your second sights, your clairvoyance, your intuition, that kind of stuff, to take this leap of faith. And having gratitude and thanks also, in like being present in the present moment. And here we are planting seeds. Like, we're using this, where you're fertilizing, right? You're taking a leap of faith. You're planting seeds for the future energetically here, because you're putting out this like non-fear based energy that doesn't block things coming into you. That's what I'm sensing over there, just from the card, of like all this energy going everywhere. It's kind of, it's going, it's, I just see this, like, if you look at all this energy, there's no blocking this energy. It's going everywhere. And I think that when we go into these things blindly, or taking a leap of faith without fear based behind it, it comes to us in a faster way, a brighter way, a more authentic way, organic way, than if we had something attached to it that it had to, like, obstacles to work around. It's really coming in fresh and fast. I feel like this fast energy. So I'm trying to think if I'll pull these. I was thinking of what oracles to use, but I'm kind of using these oracles, so I'm not going to pull too many of these. Whoa, let me do that again. But I do love that for the energy that we have right now. For a lot of us, and even if you don't have that, it's asking you to really sit still, meditate, really connect with what your body's telling you, with what your intuition is telling you, just sitting in space, and just being quiet and really observing the changes around you, and how you can go in it with, taking a leap of faith and trusting that things are going to come out the way they're supposed to, without fear behind it. Full piece for energy right now. Whoa, I'll take them all. I won't take that one because it wasn't flipped over. So we have rise, which is, these kind of seem similar to me. This is rising up from being reborn, from this energy. It's like rising up from the gook, and now you're seeing things clearly. You're seeing things new. You have hope. It's like looking at the sunshine and seeing the energy around you, kind of. There really are similar energies card-wise. Home. If I could pick it up, sorry. And then the moon. So this is also connecting with your intuition. I'll do one at a time. Your intuition, being okay with the unseen things, the things that are being held, like, and not showing you what they are. You're kind of just going in it blindly with this faith that you have that everything will be okay. But also using your intuition here, using your gut, and I think that's what I was saying about, like, being clairvoyant, seeing the signs around you, really paying attention, but not going in with fear. And then you have the home card. I do think this is a lot about us coming home to ourselves, and this is a self journey here. It also could definitely expand out into the people around us, our tribe, friends, relationships, all that stuff. But it comes to us first. We have to take those first steps internally for that to then be seen and enlightened, and start to glow out into the people around us. I'm trying to figure out a way to say that, but illuminating into the world around us. But it starts with within. We have to take that leap first. Okay? So I think that I'm comfortable with that, and moving forward. So now we have, let me see the next one. The next one is what we're currently holding in our root, physically, spiritually, energetically, emotionally. And I have, let me make sure I'm in the right pile here. Yep. We have the Two of Pentacles, which is all about, making changes. This is also the bringing certain relationships into balance too. If we're dealing with the relationships position here, relationships to anything, to people, places, things, really finding balance within those things first, but also the relationship we have with ourselves is the most important. And because we're dealing with the root, this is so red. This is definitely dealing with root energy here. It's all red. Finding balance within those things and accepting the changes they come along too. Like, not for when I was saying in the beginning, like not staying too comfortable, not staying too stable and grounded, like really allowing yourself to take risks, but feeling safe in that process and secure in that process. And really grounding yourself into the earth here, which is the root, finding balance within all of that. It's really important. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, but I'm not going to necessarily read it in the reversals because this is more of like an inspirational kind of pep talk, not so much of finding, the disharmony and things, but just to be aware of them too. But, so I will bring it up a little bit, but this is about, and normally this is about happiness, abundance, growth, having a lot of growth, being proud of all your accomplishments, materialistic things, but also the energy that you exude out to, energetic exchange, not only like financially or material. But this is a like healthy, it's asking you like, are you happy in your home? Do you have a healthy, happy home? Or where you are at home, like whatever your temple, are you happy there? Are you fulfilled? Or do you feel like you have abundance or have abundance at reach? Do you believe that you can create abundance? And finding balance within all of that stuff, within that feeling secure, safe, and really connecting to your feelings and emotions here. Do you love yourself? Do you feel safe with yourself? Or do we need the comfort of somebody else to feel safe? These are questions to ask. This is not a light reading. This is getting in deep of like how we process things and how we live our lives and our thought, like what we think, and what's installed in each chakra too. So, but this is also very grounding energy too, because of materialistic thing. This is also material world. Have you created a world around you that you feel safe and comfortable with? And is it balanced? Is it not too, I feel like the Four of Pentacles when I'm saying that, like you're not guarding it too much or hoarding, is the things around you making that security, or do you feel secure within and you're just enjoying those things? It's okay to enjoy materialistic things, but are they creating a security blanket for you, or are you just enjoying them because you can? And these are just things to ask. Like, is there balance within all of this abundance? Or feeling, with the Nine of Pentacles, is there balance within the growth of all of these things coming into your life, as you grow and as these things grow around you? So that's just something to ask yourself. I'm going to pull a card for, where are they? If I can find them, I will. They're probably right in my face. Here they are. So, Nine of Pentacles and Two of Pentacles. It's appropriate that this would be what we're holding. What we'll be holding here in the root chakra, because it is all about being grounded, and Pentacles are all about grounding. So accepting love. I'll keep these close. I know these are kind of witchy, but I do love these. The meanings of these. Accepting love within all this. This is accepting self-love. But this is also what I see here is like too is the abundance that comes from the Nine of Pentacles, and like all of the growth. I see for some of us that are really stepping into our self-love. And within stepping within the self-love, or it's asking you to really start to find ways in order to love yourself more. Like maybe journaling what you love about yourself instead of what you hate about yourself or what you want to work on yourself. Like just focusing on love and accepting that love for yourself. Because I think that will create abundance, and that will start to bleed out into all of the other aspects of your life. And then you will see like where you stand with all of the materialistic things. Are they needed? Or are your relationships getting nourished now because you love yourself so much? Not in an egotistical way, but like really nurturing yourself and loving yourself and just accepting yourself, accepting who you are. And that will then bleed out into all your relationships and all of these new concepts and all of these gifts that you have. It will start to spread. That's what I see in that. It's a separate entity than the Pentacles in my, like, from what I'm seeing, but still really beautiful message. Okay, so now we move into number 3, which is how we can release this tension or mental energy from all of the stuff that we're feeling here. Let me see, make sure I'm not, yeah, this is here. This is a good one. The 8 of Swords. So how we can release this is not feeling trapped. And sometimes we create this feeling of being trapped, but we're really not. You can see that she feels trapped. She feels that she's like this fear of like not willing to let go. You know, it's the fear that's causing her feeling trapped. But it's really easy to get out of it. And it doesn't even exist. This is an illusion of feeling trapped. So when we say, you know, how we can release this tension of mental energy, release this notion of being trapped, like knowing that you are not trapped. You choose your destiny. You choose to make a move. You choose to look at perspectives this way. Like your perspective is everything. She's choosing to, or they're choosing to see themselves as trapped, but in reality, they're not. They're not trapped. So, you know, how we can release this tension is release the notion of the illusion of what you're seeing and making sure that it's not reality. Like sometimes it is reality. Sometimes we are trapped or we feel like we're trapped and it's like a legit feeling trapped, like a job that you can't quit because then you don't have money to pay your mortgage, or, you know, a marriage that you have to stay in for the kids. Like there's a million reasons why you would feel trapped and then it's really hard to get out. But are some of these things that you're feeling trapped about right now, especially with root energy, like feeling safe, stability, that's stable? Is it feeling trapped because of the financial stuff that you have? Like, are you feeling, because of all the abundance you have and feeling secure about that, does that keep you trapped? Or do you feel trapped because of those things? You know, but it doesn't exist. This is your own reality. This is your own perception of it. It's not really there. It's what you've chosen to see. So it's just asking you to say, like, are these things legit? Are these feelings real, or are they an illusion because of what I choose to be attached to and not let go of? So it's just asking you to look at those things. No judgment at all, because a lot of us are trapped in material. And it's okay if you're okay with it and are happy. But is it holding you back, or is it making you grow? Like there's different ways to look at it. It's just asking you to take a look. I'm going to pull another one of these because I think this is a big one. Eight of Swords, please. In how we can release tension and mental energy. This is all in the mind. Interesting, it's about mental energy because the swords are the mind. I'm not taking all of those. Do that again. It's very appropriate for this position. And I think that meditate for peace and serenity. Just looking at the things, this is deep diving into your emotions too, and your intuition, and just like knowing what is. And I also see this gratitude and thanks card along with this too. I think of making a gratitude list of things that you're grateful for and give thanks to. I think you'll see things a little less trapping. Because you'll appreciate, you know, you'll go on the other spectrum of that illusion or that perception. And meditate on peace and serenity. It's like really appreciating the surroundings around you. I love this dog in the little raft. It's so cute. And she's underwater. You know, it's interesting in this, she's underwater here. And it's basically saying the opposite. Release yourself from those ties and just be in that emotion and be in that space, you know, of not being tied down, but just being in that space and just being there. He's just the opposite. They're both in water, but one, I think they're both in water. There's birds there, but to me, I feel like she's underwater doing this. And I can relate with that, but it's just taking a look from a different perspective, analyzing like we spoke about. Okay, so now we're going into 4, which is, sorry, I'm learning here. Something fundamental in our lives that we need to heal, manage, or adjust. Okay? You ready for this one? The 3 of Swords. So, let me read that again. Something fundamental in our lives that we need to heal, manage, or adjust, our heart. And that's, I think, why the heart card came out, and accept love. It is all about love, isn't it? Everything around us, lack of love, loving relationships, it's all about love. So this is saying, the 3 of Swords is about cutting cords. And something that we can adjust, manage, or heal is cutting the cords of these old traumas and old heartache of the past. Something you've worked, that it was so traumatic and hard, like hardship in the heart. Something you worked so hard for. And it was heartache. It's heartbreak. It didn't work out your way, or, it could have been a loss. Physical loss of someone that you loved, relationship loss. I just feel like this is hardship, hard lessons that need to be healed. Traumatic lessons. And I just feel like this is like still pulling at her heartstring, or their heartstring. I feel like the heart has mended, but it's still holding on. There's still a cord there. And I think that's fundamentally like what we need to fix or adjust, is releasing those, doing cord cuttings. Cord cutting meditations are really, really great. I've done a few of them. They're really powerful. You can look them on YouTube, or just like imagine sitting in an audience and like asking the person to come up on stage that you want to heal with, and then having a cord being connected to them, and maybe asking and offering between the two of you of like something they can give back to you, like your heart or situation, or something sentimental, same, and vice versa, and then cutting that cord and setting them free, and just say, I release you, and physically doing that in your mind, but I just think that these are so many cords, and this could be collectively all the cords around energetically, or we're going down to a root chakra level here, of where we felt safe. Did we feel safe as a kid? Was there safety there? Was there security there? Was there stability? And it just, because we're dealing with, and then red is the chakra, the root chakra. So this is root stuff, going back to childhood, and it's a lot to see and very hard to deal with. But I think that things that can be managed, adjusted, or healed from this is like cutting those cords, to allow yourself to feel safe, like to relearn what safety means for you, to relearn what security means for you, and stability. As adults, or as people who are like old enough to really create the world that we want in our own lives, you have the ability to recreate what security looks like to you and how you feel safe. You have the ability to do that. And it sucks. It'll never take away this trauma, but you can reconstruct it to really allow yourself to have an amazing life without holding on to these cords. That's all it's saying. These are lessons that we need to let go of. Never forget, but let go of. The cords are too intertwined in our everyday, and we need to let go of them. So there's a really big one here. It's a really beautiful one, because it's so true. This is like why things are so effed up in the world today, is because there's like not enough love to go around. There's so much love to go around, but we're not seeing it, especially within ourselves. I just bent my card. I'll adjust it. Tears of joy and sadness. Isn't that the truth? So look, this is kind of like this to me. They're both looking in the mirror and they're seeing something different. This is perception. And this is also showing your two colors here. Like maybe being honest with yourself and the people around you, and just like really talking about things, seeing things as they are, like having somebody be your mirror too. Like when we don't get along with people, or when people pull at our strings a lot and you're like, well, Why are they like, is that a mirror image for you to learn something from? Don't put on this facade of happiness when you're not. Like really sit with it. Because this is not being honest. This is not being honest. And I know we have to show face sometimes and just like fake it till you make it. And that is great, because sometimes fake it till you make it is what you need, because you're putting that energy out of good, of positivity, and you need that to come back to you. So that's okay sometimes to do, but that doesn't mean ignore it. That means know the truth, but find ways to bring a new energy in to fill that void or to fill that cup. So it's saying don't put the feelings aside to just put a smile on your face. Really sit with this stuff. Really own it. This is heartache, and this is something that we need to deal with and we need to release in order for the root to really mend and for it to feel stability and safe in the world. Don't hide it. Especially if you're really sad, talk to somebody about it. Go to therapy, or talk to your tribe, or talk to your one person, or write it in a journal. Release it. Support yourself that way. This is deep. This is very important. Really important about how you heal in this process and how we manage through life and how we adjust the way our actions are according to what we show, how our heart hurts or how it doesn't. So it's about not just pretending anymore, but also mending and cutting the cords that keep us trapped in the lessons that we have already learned. We've already learned these. It's time to let go. Cut those cords. We've already healed the heart. It's not bleeding anymore. It's patched up. It's just the cords that we need to cut. So, which is a big deal. I'm not just saying just, but there's no reason to relive it constantly when it's past its prime. So anyway. And now we have 5, which is the 5th position, which is what will change when we fix or adjust these issues. When we heal our heart, what will change? I love this. Look at this. It's so good. I can't make it up. The 4 of Swords. We're going to finally rest. We're going to finally give our mental mind, our mental status, some peace and stillness. And also, this comes with your mental power. You are going to take your power back, because it's not going to be given to all of these cords that you've had it attached to. Love this. So you will start to settle down and get the rest that you need, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And I love the Ace of Cups with this. Hello, this is so beautiful. This is a new love beginning, new relationships. I'm looking at this here and just filling your cup here. Where are the relationship stuff? Relationships, duh. I was just looking at it. I was looking for an actual picture. But this is all about, new relationships, nourishing yourself, finding peace, growing, really allowing you to love yourself and find, when you release heartache like this and cords, new love comes in. So a lot of us, I'm not single, but a lot of us hold on to certain things that doesn't allow our current relationships to be nourished in the way that they need to be, because it holds us back. It keeps us a little bit one foot out the door. Or if you're not in a relationship and you want to be, you can't be tugged in 2 different directions and fully be present in that relationship. Or these cords might be holding you back from really finding love that is waiting for you, especially self-love first. So good. I'm not even going to touch that. It's so good. So good. And then we finally have, this is an interesting one too. We also have here how we can become better connected to our physical bodies, which is really important in the root. It's about really being connected to ourselves. And the Devil came out, and this is about addictions. What are we addicted to? What are we holding on, puppet wise? What are we, it's just so good. What are our material attachments? And what are the negative things that we always bring in our life? Is it negative chatter? Is it being gossipy, and are we addicted to gossip? Are we addicted to negativity? Are we addicted to substances? Are we addicted to behaviors that are just not at our higher vibration? You know, what are we addicted to? Food? Are we addicted to drugs? Are we addicted to sex, alcohol? Like, what are we addicted to? And is that keeping our vibration stuck? Is that keeping you in that stable, secure space that you feel like you know so well, so you can tolerate all the negative energy around it because you're comfortable there? I'm sorry, this is deep shit, but it's the truth. This is what holds us. This is life right here. This is like all of the addictions: spending money, saving money, you know, abundance, and not the positive way. All of these things that are coming to us here, like addictions, especially food, you know, because the food is so disgusting anymore. Like, it's fake, half of it. How are we supposed to nourish our temples and be better when everything that is processed is addictive? Like, physically, it has nothing to do with us to an extent. Yes, putting it in your mouth does, but your body becomes addicted to it and wants it, just like a drug, just like heroin or like another drug. So some of it, a lot of it has to do with us, but some of it also has to do with the way things are. So really seeing things as they are and really attaching to what we can do to adjust it, taking ownership on those addictions. And it's hard to break. It's not an easy task here. But this is at least bringing us connected. All of this work brings us to connected to what our physical bodies are going through here, you know? It's just at least being aware. When there's awareness, there are tiny minor shifts that actually create such a better experience. So step by step, I'm not going to eat junk food today, even if it's for one day. It just shifts something. Just an example, of course. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles, which I do love here. But this is all about abundance and fulfillment. Does the devil's addictions, do these addictions and negative things in our lives, are they in abundance, or are we really creating happiness and fulfillment? Are these fulfilling you, or do you want something else to fulfill you? Energetically abundant, you know, like higher vibrational pull. Where are you, and what do you want? Where are you on here? Like, what is abundant that is positive in your life and fulfills you really deeply, spiritually, emotionally, physically? And what are your addictions, and what are you willing to shift? It depends on what you're willing to see here. And if you're willing to accept this transformation and change, you know, and if you're willing to plant the seeds to watching them grow in a different way here, you know, like, are you willing to change and adjust some things here? You know, really being grateful for the things that you have in abundance and fulfilled, that has fulfilled you. Being grateful for them, giving thanks to them. I absolutely love this reading. I think there's a lot of potential, but it can be very dark because it deals with childhood trauma and heartache and hard lessons that we've learned along the way. And it really asks you to look at those things and look at what you're addicted to and what keeps you feeling safe and stability, even if it's negative for you or not so great or deficient for you or an excess. Because this is in excess too. It's like indulgent in things that are not so great for us. And we're all guilty of this. I feel like we're all guilty for this. Because this is what life's set up to be this way. So anyway, I'm going to pull some self-care cards because I think it's really important after work like this. And I would love to hear back for any, you know, in the comments of like anybody that is going through this or like that resonated with it or didn't. And what comes up for you, or what you have shifted, you know, what's shifted for you, or where you are in this process. I'm really curious because I love connecting with people about this stuff. It's something that's really important to me. And it keeps us connected as humans together when we can share our experiences that we all have the same of. Like they're just different experiences. Of course, they're different experiences. We come from so many different backgrounds, but at the end of the day, we're all trying to survive and have a experience in this lifetime. We're all having that. That's not different. It's just different ways of expressing it and experiencing it is different. So I just want to connect us and start to love each other again. Such an important thing about humanity and our race and like survival. So I think it's a really important thing. Please, what can we do to self-care? for the root chakra, for the collective, please. Root chakra. Root chakra. There we go. Oh, rest. We already talked about rest at the Four of Swords. I think that's really important. Self-care, rest. Because when you have rest, your body's more balanced. You know, like that's even like cravings, and especially with like the devil's energy here. When your body's rested, you're not craving things that are not causing balance in the body. Energy work, getting a distance healing session from moi, or someone getting sound healing, going into the earth. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be money spent. It could be free, just going and recharging yourself to the earth energy. Time alone is really important, but really good time alone, not like dwelling and feeling this type of energy. Really going and being like loving and caring and getting something that is nourishing to you. Going for a swim or going for a walk, really spending some time reading a self-care book or something like that. Nourish your temple, huge one, especially with the devil's energy here. Nourish your temple. Thoughts become things. So our thoughts, food, addictions, you know, even if you're still doing it, but you're doing it a little less, that is such an improvement on your body. Your body will realize that and recognize that you're willing to try. Even if you're trying a little, it's trying at least. You know, like you're still putting energy into that. So I hope this resonated. I really love doing these. Look for the second chakra, the sacral, coming up shortly in a week or two. And I really want to dig deep into the chakra systems. And I'm going to be doing these. These are timeless, but I'm going to be doing these more frequent. So it keeps unraveling as we go. So hopefully this resonated. Please let me know on in the comments. And if you like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And would really love to see you again. So take care of yourself and stay safe and stay grounded.